Hello everyone, welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. We are really happy and excited that you are listening to us today. This podcast is made especially for people who are learning English step by step and want to speak with more confidence in real-life situations. If English is not your first language, please don't worry, you are in the right place.
Hi everyone, I'm Lena. Thank you so much for joining us today and spending your time learning English. Many learners tell us that they understand English when they listen, but they feel shy or nervous when they speak. This is completely normal, especially for beginners. Some learners feel even more nervous when they talk to someone new, and especially when they talk to a girl in English. If you feel shy, confused, or scared about speaking, please remember one thing. You are not alone, and there is nothing wrong with you.
That's absolutely right, Lena. Feeling nervous means you care about improving yourself, and that is a good thing. Today's topic is very practical and very useful for daily life situations, like college, office, travel, or social events. Today we will talk about how to talk to a girl in English in a polite, confident, and respectful way. This is not about using difficult words or impressing someone with big English. It is about being kind, clear, and comfortable while speaking.
Yes, and this lesson is specially designed for beginners. We will speak slowly, use easy words, and give clear examples. You can listen, repeat, and practice along with us. By the end of this podcast, you will feel more confident to start a simple conversation in English.
Lena, many beginners tell us that they feel very nervous when they talk to a girl in English. Their hands shake, their mind goes blank, and they forget simple words. Why do you think this happens so often?
This happens because people are afraid of making mistakes. They think too much before speaking. They ask themselves questions like, what if my grammar is wrong? What if my pronunciation is bad? What if she laughs or doesn't understand me? Because of these thoughts, people stop themselves from speaking. Even when they know simple English, fear makes them quiet. But the truth is, mistakes are a normal and very important part of learning any language.
Yes, and another big reason is that people think they need perfect English. They believe that only fluent or advanced speakers should talk. But that is completely false. Good communication is not about perfect grammar or accent. Good communication is about being polite, speaking clearly, and showing respect. Even simple sentences can sound very good when they are spoken with confidence and kindness.
Exactly. Most girls do not expect perfect English. They usually appreciate it when someone speaks politely, listens carefully, and behaves respectfully. Simple, honest, and calm English is more than enough to start a good conversation. So if you feel nervous, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be yourself and speak slowly and politely.
Lena, let's now talk about the very first step of any conversation. This is the moment when most beginners feel the most nervous. How can a beginner start a conversation with a girl in English in a simple and safe way?
That's a very important question, Paul. For beginners, the best way to start a conversation is always with a simple and polite greeting. You don't need to think too much or plan a long sentence in your mind. Simple greetings are natural and very effective. For example, you can start by saying hi or hello. These words are short, easy, and used everywhere. If you want to sound a little more polite or friendly, you can say, "Hi, how are you?" Or, "Hello, how are you doing?" When you say this, try to smile and speak slowly. Your body language is also important. A friendly smile and calm voice make the other person feel comfortable.
That's true, Lena. Many people think they need a special or clever opening line. But in real life, simple greetings work the best. Being natural is more important than being perfect. If you are meeting her for the first time, you can also add something friendly like, "Nice to meet you." This sentence is very polite and shows good manners.
Yes, and remember one thing. You don't need a long sentence to start a conversation. Even a small greeting is enough to open the door for talking. Once the conversation starts, it becomes easier to continue.
After greeting someone, the next step is introducing yourself. This part is very important because it helps the other person know who you are.
Yes, Paul. A self-introduction does not need to be long or complicated, especially for beginners. A simple sentence is more than enough. For example, you can say, "Hi, my name is Rahul," or, "Hello, I'm Alex." These sentences are very common, polite, and easy to remember. When you say your name clearly and calmly, you sound confident even if your English is very basic. You don't need to rush or speak fast.
That's a great point. After saying your name, you can also add one small extra sentence. This helps the conversation move forward naturally. For example, you can say, I'm new here, or I study here, or I work here.
Yes, these small sentences give more information about you. They also help the other person ask the next question. This way, the conversation continues smoothly without pressure. So remember, start with a greeting. Say your name and add one simple line. That is more than enough for a good and respectful beginning.
Now let's talk about asking questions, because questions are the heart of any conversation. When you ask questions, you show interest in the other person, and the conversation feels natural and friendly. But many beginners are confused about what questions are safe and how many questions they should ask.
Yes, Paul, that's very true. For beginners, it is very important to ask simple and polite questions. You don't need difficult grammar or long sentences. Simple questions are easier to understand and easier to answer. For example, you can ask, "Where are you from?" This question is friendly and very common in daily conversations. Another good question is, "What do you study?" Or, "What do you do?" These questions help you learn basic information about the other person. These are safe questions for beginners because they are not personal or uncomfortable. They help start a normal conversation and make the other person feel respected.
That's a very important point, Lena. Beginners should always remember not to ask too many questions at one time. If you ask many questions together, the other person may feel uncomfortable or confused. The best way is to ask one question, then stop and listen carefully. After she answers, you can respond politely and then ask the next question. This makes the conversation smooth and balanced.
Yes, asking questions slowly and one by one also gives you time to think and feel relaxed. There is no hurry in a good conversation.
Lena, many learners focus only on speaking, but listening is also very important in a conversation, right?
Absolutely, Paul. Good conversation is not only about speaking English. It is also about listening carefully and showing interest in the other person. When she is speaking, don't interrupt her. Look at her, listen calmly, and try to understand what she is saying. This shows respect and good manners. Even if you don't understand every word, that's okay. You can still respond politely with simple sentences. For example, you can say, "That's nice." "Oh, really? That sounds interesting." These small responses are very powerful. They show that you are listening and that you care about the conversation.
Yes, and the best part is that you don't need big or difficult English words for this. Simple responses are enough to keep the conversation going. When you listen carefully and respond politely, the other person feels comfortable, and the conversation becomes natural and enjoyable.
So always remember, good speaking starts with good listening.
Now let's talk about something very important, confidence. Confidence plays a big role when you talk to a girl in English, especially if you are a beginner and still learning the language. Many people think confidence means speaking fast or using big words, but that is not true.
Yes, Paul. That's a very common misunderstanding. Confidence does not mean being loud, rude, or trying to show off. Real confidence means speaking calmly, smiling naturally, and treating the other person with respect. When you speak slowly and clearly, it shows that you are comfortable and honest. You don't need to act differently or pretend to be someone else. Just be yourself and be polite. Another very important thing is kindness. Always be kind in your words and your behavior. If the girl looks busy, tired, or not interested in talking, it is completely okay to stop politely and give her space.
That's a very important point, Lena. Stopping politely shows maturity and respect. You can simply smile and say something like, "It was nice talking to you," and move on. Remember this clearly. Respect is much more important than perfect English. A respectful person with simple English is always better than someone with good English but bad behavior.
Exactly. When you are respectful, people feel safe and comfortable around you. And that is the best foundation for any good conversation.
Now it's your turn to practice what you learned today. Learning English is like learning any other skill. The more you practice, the better you become. Start with simple greetings and introductions. Practice saying hi, hello, and my name is every day. Even a few minutes of practice can make a big difference.
Yes, and there are many easy ways to practice. You can practice in front of a mirror and watch your expressions. You can practice with a friend or family member. You can even practice alone by speaking out loud. Another good idea is to speak slowly. When you speak slowly, you feel more confident, and your English sounds clearer and better. There is no need to hurry. And please remember one very important thing. Mistakes are part of learning. Every learner makes mistakes, and that is completely normal. Every time you speak, even with mistakes, you improve.
Yes, never be afraid of making mistakes. Each mistake is a step forward. Confidence comes from practice, not from perfection. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast today. We really hope this episode helped you feel more confident about talking to a girl in English.
Keep practicing every day, keep smiling, and keep believing in yourself. You are learning, and that is something to be proud of.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.